So I want to move and talk about, to kind of set the stage for Rally, I want to spend a little bit of time talking about digital collectibles. And that may be an overly vague, overly broad kind of label for it. But in my mind, if we think back to 2020, think to what we've already seen happen in 2021, there's been the takeoff of NFTs, which has just been insane, especially seeing those immediately go within what felt like 30 to 60 days to major auctions at Sotheby's and Christie's. Has been insane. To see the revenue generated by Top Shot selling kind of moments from the NBA is incredible. We've also got crypto and tokens that feel like they've really taken off. And I know that doesn't really fit tightly within the label of digital collectibles, but clearly that's an aspect of, I think, what's led to this. And then we've got Rally. So can you talk a little bit about, I guess, how you do those things fit together in your mind, and how do they fit together? And then where does Rally fit in, and how is it distinct and different?
Yeah, so I mean, they all work in tandem with me, and they always have. The idea of a collectible is whatever you want it to be. And I think when you think about art, like art is everything you need it to be too, the same way. It can recharge you, it sparks new ideas, it evokes emotion, it reminds you, what you should be doing next, or reminds you of a time in the past. All those things that are part of NFTs and what bring NFTs to life and what sparked so much of this conversation are really at the root of what Rally is too. So at its heart, I'm 10 minutes in right now, I haven't explained what Rally is, but it's a platform for buying and selling equity in these high value assets with this real historical or cultural significance, or ones that will be really significant for the future, and owning true equity in that. I think what NFTs provide is an opportunity for that from a creator standpoint that never really existed. So I think that the big thing right now, and whether it's NFTs or crypto or sports cards or any of these vintage luxury, all these things that are at the forefront right now, and especially over the last year and the last 12 months specifically, everybody wants to be first, right? Everybody wants to be perceived as a futurist, or everybody wants to be able to say, I told you so, when something works out later. And these young technologists now, they have a little bit more money to play with than ever before. So you basically have all three of those things working in tandem. And that's what NFTs present, this opportunity to jump ahead and really see around that turn. But from a creative standpoint too, and this is something that I think music, for everything the music industry has done wrong, they did a few things really well. One thing they did is that the artists realized that taking back ownership of their product and their equity was cool, and that's something you should be doing. And that wasn't always the case. The idea of signing to a major label was like a huge thing when I was younger, and that's part of what drove me to work in music.
Status symbol.
100%, no question. But now that status symbol is like ownership. It's not showing that you have it, it's actually having it. I think from a creative standpoint, to be able to create your art and your work and be able to monetize that and let the crowd and the community you've built actually decide what that value is super interesting, and that's what NFTs present. But from the supply side and like this bid side too, you have somebody who could really own something that they truly care about, and they could do it in a way where they're paying their creator directly in most cases. I think that's so much of what we tried to build at Rally, is the idea that you're bringing together people, the things they care about, and the moment that's most important to them, and they can kind of put their money where their mouth is. I think that's happening on both sides of the platforms right now.